Hello guys, Mike from Ti-NspireApps.com showing you all the tricks you need to know to master a Ti-Nspire CX CAS 2. I'm showing you all the secrets here on the student software on the computer, but that works exactly the same on a handheld calculator. So when you press Dock, that's your starting point, you see on the left Calculate and Graph. If you go here to New, you see Add Calculator, which is also Calculate, and Add a Graph. So let's start with, I'm going to show you now I'll show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. And the other options, 7, 9, and A, are more advanced coding options, and that'll be a different video. But if you can master these options here, you control the calculator. Okay, 55 times 8, plus 8, sorry, 63. So you can do fancy math. If you click on the up key, you're going to grab the last answer, and you can add 11 to it, 74. If you want to divide that by 3, you get that. But if you want to turn that into a decimal, you can grab the last answer, make it 74 point or 0.0, press enter, and you get a decimal answer. So that allows you to convert from fractions to decimals. And now I'm going to show you all the tricks that you can do by pressing menu. You can do algebra, calculus, statistics, matrix, finances, etc. So let me show you, for example, how to use the solve function. By the way, if you were to click here the library button, and then you click here on the second icon instead of the first, the second, then all the commands are listed by subject matter. But the advantage is, if you click on solve here under algebra, it shows you all the equations, inequalities that can be solved. Right? We couldn't see that pressing menu. And like, for example, factor, you can not only factor expressions, but also lists and matrices, etc. So this is a good place to be here, this library button. Anyways, so let's solve an equation and inequality. I press enter. Solve, let's say x squared is equal to 9, comma, x as a variable, and we get those two answers. Okay? If I go back and I say x equals 4, then it's only going to give me 3 as an answer, or that answer of the two here that is closest to my initial guess of 4. Okay? So if I use -4 instead, I would get -3 as an answer. And we can also solve inequalities, as we just saw. X squared greater equal to 9 will have these answers, right? X greater equal to 3 and less equal to -3. So that's greater, and we can also go the other way. And here it is. And so that's solving inequalities and equalities. And we can also find, let me show you something fancy, Zero. You just saw that command in the catalog. Zero of x squared, let's say -9, comma, variable x. It's called zeros, like heroes. And there are your answers, -3 and 3. And now we're going to do something fancy. How about +9? Well, it does not have x squared plus 9 is a parabola of the y-intercept at 9, doesn't have real solutions. So the calculator has a complex option. So we're going to just put a C in front, C zeros, and then we're going to get the complex answers, 3i and -3i. Okay? That also works, by the way, for the solve function. So if I try to solve x squared equal to -9, I get false. It doesn't have any real solutions. But if I put a friendly c in front, I'm going to get the two complex solutions, 3i and -3i. So you can see it's very powerful. And I also would like to show you the factor. We did the zeros and the solve. Let me show you factor and expand. Expand first. Say you want to expand this. By the way, you see this faint parentheses, so it knows there's supposed to be one. I don't have to put a parentheses. I can just press enter and it fills in that missing parentheses. So that's the expanded answer, that's correct. And you can do the reverse. Grab that term, put a friendly factor in front, press enter, and you get the factored version back to where we just started. Okay, and those were some algebra examples I just showed you. There's trigonometry, there's calculus. Here's a quick calculus one, derivative, just a italic D. Say you want to find the derivative of x squared of x to the 20 with respect to x. 20 times x to the 19. What if I had an a in front? I would get 28 times x to the 19. So that's the advantage of using a computer algebra system. You can deal with parameters, with constants here, and it treats them as numbers, like this a here. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I press Control N to get to option 2 now, add a graph. That's easy, right? f1 of x is prompting me to enter a function such as x squared. Here it is in blue. I can reposition it by dragging the system up, down, left, right. Can also rescale it quickly if I want to. So you can do a lot of things real quick by dragging and moving things on the screen. If I want to change the function from x squared to, let's say, x minus 3 squared, I can just double click on it and change it. Very easy. Can move the label away if that's in the way. You can add a new function, another function, by going here and then arrow down. And then I'm going to do x minus 4, and there's x minus 4 with a movable label. And they are my graphs, so what can I do with them? All the good stuff happens on the menu button. So we know how to enter a function, a relation, so we can graph all of these things here, paramatics, differential equations. We can change here the windows, which we just did already by changing or moving the XY system around, trace a function, analyze a graph. So that's where the meat is of the graph analysis. So we're going to find a zero now. You can also find a minimum, max, intersection, inflection. So let's do one of them, 0. Let's find the 0 of the red graph. It's asking me here which graph. I click on red. It's asking lower bound. Always work with what they're asking. Lower means left. Press enter. And upper means somewhere right of the 0. And you can see already here 4, 0 is the 0 of the red graph. Okay, you can again move a label around wherever you want. So that works beautifully. Let me show you something else for the calculus experts among you. You can find an integral, which is area, which graph. Let's say we want to do the red one. Lower bound is the left bound, is here. And then you can just go with the cursor right to define the upper bound. And let's say we put it on 14. I'm sorry, that's not 14, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, oh here's 7. So if I go to 7, then the area is going to be shown there. If I press enter, the area is 8. Right, it's a 4 by 4 divided by 2 triangle, so the area is 8. So that's all pretty nifty stuff, but I want to show you some other things. So that's the graphing section, and I just graph functions, but as I said, you can graph anything, relations, parametrics, polar, all works the same way. It's all nice and colorful, and you can do the analysis as I just showed you. Okay, next. Control N, add geometry. So this is the geometry section, and in order to do geometry, you need to have shapes, right? Like shapes are here, like a circle. Click on circle, and then you define the center of the circle and go outwards, and at some point you stop, and then you have a circle. And because that's so much fun, you can do that again, or you can draw a different shape, a triangle, a rectangle. All of these shapes are here. And not only can you draw them, but you can also measure things. Like you want to measure the area of a circle, well, then just select the area option and click on the circle, and there you can see 115 square centimeters is the area of this circle. And this geometry tool is powerful because you can deal with all type of shapes, so it'll keep you busy throughout a geometry class. Okay, but we are moving on. We're not going to save this. I'm going to press Control N, and we're going to now deal with some lists and spreadsheets. And if you know Excel, then you know spreadsheets. Here you can put in the A column, put in some numbers, and then in the B column you can do some computations like you do in Excel or Google Sheets. So here you're going to put in A1, and if you want to square it, you're going to just do that. So you can just put down the square numbers of the left column into the next column. Okay, so you can do some heavy-duty math and spreadsheet computations, and it has a lot of rows, a lot of columns, so the sky's the limit again here. And then of course you can insert the rows and columns, you can compute data, and you can do your statistics as well. So stats calculations, let me, so for example, you can do one variable statistics, two variable statistics, number of lists, say 1, which list, the A column, we don't need this here, and unfortunately it's overriding now my numbers that I had in the B column, but you can still see the analysis that's happening here is on the numbers 2, 3, and 4, and the average of 2, 3, and 4 is 3. Their sum, 2 and 3 and 4 makes 9. Okay, so there's 3 numbers, the minimum, the median, the max. All of that can be done here in the list option, spreadsheets. So again, very powerful. So remember, you can do statistics in spreadsheets, just like in Excel. Okay, and now I'm pressing Control N again, and that will get me to add notes. And here you can write all your notes. You can say x squared has the derivative of 2x. Okay, and you can type in anything that you want, and when you press Control S, then you're going to save your document and you're going to have it available in the future. So that's what this note section is all about, and it's very useful. So this now concludes the first introduction of how to use a Ti-Nspire. I just want to end with the fun part. That's number 8, add a widget. And there, our widget here is a stopwatch. That's the only I have right now. I press add. And then if you want to time yourself for whatever reason, you can use that widget. You can stop it or pause it and restart it. And well, thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use a Ti-Nspire CX class. Bye-bye.